It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough, knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And tight end O.J. Howard is just scratching the surface of his potential. Great combo tight end, can get downfield and make the big catches and the long gainers, but also can block at the point of attack.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rogers. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Fitzpatrick. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Leonard Fournette commands a lot of attention, not just because he was the first 1,000-yard running back for Jacksonville since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. It's because of his ability to hit the hole fast, to knock people over when he's carrying the football, and to run away from people when he gets to the open field. He actually has changed the identity of the Jacksonville offense. I'm looking forward to watching him for years to come.
Going up top, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. 30 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now a 7-0 game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Possession going back over to Tampa Bay here. And for the Buccaneers, it's kind of been a wild ride through first half plus of the season. You had some exhilarating wins at New Orleans, at home against the defending champs. And then they've had a lot of lulls, too, haven't they?
They certainly have. And probably the biggest story is the adversity of dealing with the quarterback position. Jameis Winston not ready to start the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in and lights it up. And we have Fitzmagic. Then he hits some bumps. Jameis Winston comes in and plays well at times, but then turns it over too many times. Back to Fitzpatrick. How will it all end? We shall see. But one thing is for sure. They are entertaining, aren't they? Not many 13-7 games when they are playing.
No, when they're on the field, there's been points scored both ways. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Jacksonville, Charles, is a team that you and I have talked about a lot this year because there was all that anticipation coming into the season on the heels of 2017, but the first half of the year was just not kind to them, and they entered their bye week on a 4-game losing skid. Blake Bortles in and out of the lineup, Leonard Fournette out of the lineup. I don't know what to make of 2018 for this team.
Yeah, I don't either. They moved Dante Fowler Jr. to Los Angeles in a trade at the deadline, but I still feel like there's something there. This team is too talented to be in this type of a skid. And apart from games with the Steelers and the Texans, schedule is favorable on the back end. Let's see if guys like Calais Campbell can lead them back to some of the success they had in 2017.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Throwing is Bortles. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Here's Humphries. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. And they'll run it here. Ooh, the juke. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Fitzpatrick, and a catch right side by Evans. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll go on the ground. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready? Blue 45! Blue 45!
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd and short.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. He sets to fire deep. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference, defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now a play fake. Bortles. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committees, and other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
You know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now Bortles again. Escaping the pressure right. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Jaguars had 6 to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. He finds his target, it's Evans. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Fitzpatrick on 1st down. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this 1st half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Set. Ready. Ready.
A 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. And Watson has it right side. 10 more there and another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Move 45. Move 45.
Again, it's Fitzpatrick. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll throw again, Fitzpatrick. And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jaquez Rodgers, as the 1st half is winding down, and the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jaguars add on to their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking sideline, incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Bortles now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that's caught inside the 35. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. Hey, with that incompletion, time to have some fun. I want to know, at the Davis household, who carves the turkey?
Well, it's certainly not me.
Well, I knew that.
I can tell you that. But let's just switch it. Who cares who carves the turkey? I want to know what you're going to be knocking down on your plate on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, definitely turkey. Now, my mom's corn and green bean casserole, while it may not sound overly appetizing, is out of this world. And her sweet potato casserole, second to none.
So, I should be making my plans to fill a seat at the Garden household?
You're more than welcome.
Because I think my household may kick me out.
What's your favorite? What's on your plate?
I'm telling you, when you throw the yams at me, look out. Because I'm gonna go to town. That's like dessert to me.
Well, how about dessert? I go pecan and apple pie with vanilla ice cream.
But there's nothing wrong with that. I like the pecan pie, but I do love a chocolate pie. I can't help myself. It's one of my favorites.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Telvin Smith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing Fitzpatrick. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Levante David coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Let's go. Heavy. Watch the backfield. Green 80.
They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Third touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Fitzpatrick to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together, and I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Bortles to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Everyone's got four down. Green 80. Green 80. Green is up.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
We got 4. Green 80. Green 80.
Fournette, a first down carry. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Let's go.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And he gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Bortles on the give to Fournette. Open space inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it 1st and goal. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Throwing now is Bortles. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is good.
Bortles going to throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Lambeau to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Second down, Fitzpatrick. And his throw here's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So we got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.